Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Garrison, and I want to welcome you to day 79 of Humanity Rising. Every day since the 22nd of May, Ubiquity University and about 350 partners from around the world have come together and offered a 2-hour open space between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock p.m. Central European Time on Zoom so that people from around the world can share their experiences as we all navigate our way through this extraordinary pandemic. We're all under some form of lockdown. We're all engaging in social distancing of one kind or another. We all have apprehensions about the human future. We all are wondering how our governments and how our institutions are going to be able to shape a post-pandemic world that is safer and more abundant, more healthy, and more aligned with natural systems. Over the last several days, we've entered into a very extraordinary juncture. August 6th was the 75th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima. Tomorrow, August 9th, is the 75th anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki. It's very propitious that yesterday we accentuated probably the most critical ingredient in the world today, and that is urgent necessity for conscious leadership. The human race, as never before, needs all of us to lead in our own lives, in our families, and in our communities as consciously as we possibly can. These crises are not going to be solved by governments alone, but by every single one of us exercising conscious choice with every decision that we make. Today, we accentuate the other profoundly important aspect. That is our relationship with nature, our ability to engage in intelligible communication with other sentient beings. And so we're very honored today to welcome back Linda Tucker, who you'll all know is the founder of the White Lion Protection Trust in South Africa, who's been working with a devoted group of people down there and around the world to save the white lions from extinction. Because the white lions of all species play a critical interactive role in the unfolding destiny of humanity on this earth. We need the courage of the white lions now. And so we're privileged to be able to join Linda and her community on this very auspicious day, the 8th of August, which she'll explain, which is of extraordinary importance to the white lion and to human well-being. Linda, thank you once again for joining us, and I turn the program over to you.
Jim, thank you very much. I speak to you from the heart of White Lion ancestral territories, an ancient sacred site, a primordial sacred site, and one of the last viable lion ranges on the planet. I could have spoken to you indoors. There is quite a raging wind blowing, which here in Africa we call moyo, the ancestral presence. And there have been ceremonies taking place, first ignited in the heart of White Lion territories on the 1st of August. That fire ceremony has continued day and night for the last 8 days and is still burning, because it's understood that this day is the most important moment in the StarLion calendar. When we last linked up with Humanity Rising Community, that was a significant day of the StarLion calendar, the 5th of July, when the sun aligns with Sirius, the source star. But on this day, the 8th of the 8th, it is known to be what is called the StarLion portal or gate. And here it is understood that the white lions, high consciousness beings, hold the portal between the heavens and earth, allowing the filtering of luminous knowledge to access through this gateway in a heaven-earth portal that is unprecedented. Furthermore, it's understood that our central sun at this moment is informed, is merged by the suns of 12 galaxies combined, and therefore amplified. That path which serves the higher plan and anchors it on earth is supported in an unprecedented way. I mean, this is not a new age concept. It's not an airy-fairy, flighty concept. And to help you understand the anchoring and of why this is so important for indigenous nations around the planet, the lions have spoken from StarLion territories, but their message has been held in deep reverence by indigenous nations around the planet, from the depths of the sacred fire of the Kumani San in the Kalahari Desert to the Mexican Amazonian territories of the Kogi, to the Cape Khoisan, the sacred caves of the Cape Peninsula, to Kyrgyzstan, the snow leopard territories, and so on around the planet. Grandmothers and wisdom weavers from different traditions have held a sacred fire ceremony as points of light on this, the holiest day in the StarLion calendar. It takes us back to a sacred contract that was ignited in humankind's relationship with our planet at a moment known as first time, Zep Tepi, a time that is understood in the StarLion calendar as the moment when we contracted into our role of stewardship on this planet. Now, rather than me talking more to you, I just want to point out, those of you who've joined us from around the world, that it's probably the first time we've ever had an online live streaming into a sacred ceremony. I've been doing ceremonies with indigenous nations for 3 decades now, and they've normally been closed to the outside world for good reason, because they truly are sacred. And yet we understand the urgency of the hour that we're in. And so today we are actually going to be linking up shortly to a live ceremony, which will be reading from the Worldwide Indigenous Governance Charter, which was delivered by the StarLion ancestral force that emanates out of these regions. And its purpose is to unite all people of true heart behind one indigeneity, beyond tribalism to tribal, beyond gender, color, national conflicts, into one heart. And you'll see that it is the apex animal who, in their ecosystem, allows us to speak into our hearts and to achieve this. So I understand my video is still working, right?
Yes, we see and hear you well, Linda.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to ask you, George, if you put on the short video of the StarLions, the white lions, and how they restore their sacred lands. Now, those of you who know my project know that we
Well, now Linda seems to have dropped out, on mine at least. Well, but she was introducing the video I was about to show anyway, so I will proceed to show this video and we hope that she will be back after the video.
Like the vital organs of the body, powerful biodiversity hotspots on Earth hold the source codes for the revitalization of our entire planet and the flourishing of life itself. Life began in Africa, and speciation is associated with the East African Rift Valley at the epicenter of Earth's land masses, also referred to by evolutionary scientists as the birth canal of the human species. The white lions were born on the Nilotic meridian along the East African Rift tectonic plate and, significantly, in alignment with the most important architectural sacred sites on the African continent, Giza, Great Zimbabwe, Barberton. This means that humankind's greatest lion monument, the Great Sphinx and Pyramids of Giza in the north, align exactly with the birthplace of the white lions in the south. The white lions originate in this one location only on Earth, Timbavati, meaning place where the star lions came down in the old Shangaan language, and their heartland, Tsao, meaning star lion. But while the African wisdom keepers have long revered the white lions as holy animals and bringers of peace and prosperity, their critically important role in the ecosystem is less well understood. Their cultural role in restoring hope to humankind is equaled by their ecological role in restoring health to their ecosystem. Today, we are faced with a pervading sense of the devastation and desecration of Mother Earth. As immortalized in Disney's Lion King story, when the true king is removed from his kingdom, a wasteland ensues. But there is a way to come back into right relationship with our planet. When the apex animal is restored in its natural kingdom, the flourishing of all species in the ecosystem is assured. The white lions may be living legends, mythic in their majesty and iconic in their radiant solar power, yet their ability to restore health and healing to their natural ecosystem is fundamental ecology at its best. Importantly, their place of origin is in the epicenter of South Africa's Kruger to Canyons biosphere, a UNESCO-declared biosphere region and one of the last viable lion ranges on the planet. The white lion's birthplace was declared an ancient sacred site by African kings hundreds of years before the Kruger National Park was proclaimed in 1926, and the more recent United Nations accreditation at the turn of this millennium. But tragically, the white lions have been forcibly removed from their endemic wilderness territories for a documented period of over 6 decades into zoos and circuses around the globe and into death camps in South Africa's notorious cuddle-to-kill industry. To ensure the critical survival of the white lions while protecting the watershed in their area of origin, the Global White Lion Protection Trust has been purchasing large tracts of land since 2004, the heart of the white lion's ancestral territories. Significantly, the White Lion Heartlands spans the arterial river which serves the greater region, the only perennial waters in an area of some 100,000 hectares. Once a severely denuded habitat of radical biodiversity loss, the White Lion Heartlands has enjoyed dramatic regeneration under the paw print of the apex predator. This recent Google Earth map records the contrast between Tsao, the white lion heartlands today, and the desertification of neighboring lands directly bordering, where legalized commercial trophy hunting of lions has been taking place for decades. Just as wolves restored waterways in Yellowstone Park, so ecologists now recognize the apex predator's role in restoring balance throughout the trophic levels of the food chain in an ecosystem. As inspirational symbols of true service-based leadership, the white lions in our protected area restore health to their ecosystem and hope to human systems. Behind me is land that was once seriously degraded in the heart of the white lion heartlands. The Global White Lion Protection Trust has been purchasing large tracts of land in the white lion's endemic homelands and returning the lions to the wild in a scientific reintroduction program. Because we know when the white lions flourish, all life flourishes. Today, all conservation issues are global issues. If Brazil loses its rainforests, Earth has lost her lungs. If South Africa loses its white lions, Earth has lost her heart. We can all feel it, the pulsing heart of the animal kingdom on Earth, the white lion's sacred natural site, revitalizing all the vital organs of our living planet.
So what we see in that short presentation is that this sense of the impossibility of the times we're in, the sense of hopelessness that some of us, all of us experience at times, is in fact it's a convenient attitude to an inconvenient truth. There is the ability to restore our planet. And how that is done is through the sacred coding of the apex animals in their ecosystem. Our role is to learn from nature. Our role as to redefine true leadership is to find ourselves in a position of deep humility and start to learn all over again what our purpose, our reason on this planet is. What was the original contract we made in terms of leadership? And that is what the white lions teach us, that the greater the leader, the more that you serve creation. And so, coming from the heart of white lion territories, a message from the StarLion ancestor, a called to the heart of all nations around the planet, behind one indigeneity, a quality of true heart. And their message was, this message envelops all people of true heart, including those holding positions within governing structures and other platforms of so-called authority. The StarLion ancestor has said, this is the holy hour. Remember the true authority. So I'm going to be taking us through a global peace prayer called for by the StarLion ancestors. And I prepared to deliver a peace prayer for you now, in the wind, in the setting sun. But this morning, as I went out traversing, trying to find the lions, I came upon the sacred Trinity, as they're called, the Royal Trinity, and they intercepted me. As we were preparing for the fire last night, the lions were roaring into our prayers, echoing through the ecosystem. But this morning, when I found the Royal Trinity, they had specifically intercepted me at a site, their sacred site, by an ancient baobab tree, which is nearly 2,000 years old, an ancient burial site where they held this Trinity position for me, and they emanated their message. And I realized that rather than deliver the prayer for you now, I should deliver it in their presence. So I'm going to be sharing with you the prayer that they gave me only hours ago for you. And as we prepare for that prayer, I'd ask you to settle into such a position that your root and your crown are in exact alignment. I'm going to share my screen, so give me a moment. But if you will settle yourself into what we would call alignment, root and crown, such that all is in alignment, that the heaven-earth axis is aligned. Right. Let me just get out of here. Give me a moment. If I can't share my screen, I know that George can do it for me. I hope you can hear the background sounds of the bushveld. George, I think we're going to have to call on the PowerPoint from your point. I don't seem to be able to share the screen right now.
Okay, no problem. 1 second.
Right, everyone, as we do that, align root to crown and drop into your hearts. Start to breathe with your hearts, that double heartbeat that marks time on our planet. The first is the beat from heaven. The second is the beat from earth. Dudoof, dudoof, dudoof. The heart that links us with the heart of the solar system, the heart of the ecosystem. And as we unite our hearts around the planet. And George, if you'd go on, if you'd share that screen with everyone and then go on to the next image so that I can share the prayer with you that was given in the presence of the Star Lions, the Royal Trinity, the Royal Masculine, the Sacred Feminine, and the unified being. Dearly beloved, infinite creator, eternal source of all that is, as we align in the divine will of the central sun, we unify our hearts with your heart, great spirit of Aslion, great son of the sun, keeper of the one heart, he that art united presence of the holy masculine and holy feminine, anima and animus, united being of being, love, light, truth, peace, and divine justice, as justice is brought into being. Solar Logos, word of the sun, presence of the Christos, from time immemorial to time remembered in our time, as we hold Mother Gaia in our heart of hearts. We give thanks to the crystal kingdoms. We give thanks to the plant kingdoms. We give thanks to the animal kingdoms. We give thanks to the angelic kingdoms, as we surround to the north, to the south, to the east, and to the west of the sacred lands, the sacred site of the heart of all that is our great mother, in the name of the sacred star lions, who hold the four corners of the earth, Kalunga, Enmsile, Nyelete, Kalahare, in the name of the prime primordial, star lions who hold the four corners of the ocean, Teferi, Heyoan, Ararat, Kahemsen, in the name of the four royal stars who hold the four pillars of the heavens, Regulus, Antares, Fomalhaut, Aldebaran, in the name of the four archangels who hold the four corners of earth as it is in heaven, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, in the presence of the Holy Spirit animals as nature's sacred messengers, white lion, white buffalo, white eagle serpent, white spirit bear, and all climate indicator species of our times of turning, through the 4 ages of mankind, from the time of Lemuria and its cleansing, from the time of Atlantis and its cleansing, from the time of Egypt and its cleansing, to our time, the time of the 5th sun and its cleansing. The great awakening, when the star lions be reborn upon earth, great illumined ones, daughters and sons of the sun, guardians of the stellar gateway to the portal of ascension. As Great Spirit, you are here with us at this holy hour, when all unites as one. This StarLionsGate, 8 of the 8. This day of the holy star lions, the Metza presence of the Tsao, star lions of peace, is granted to earth that all humanity may rise like the sun in the solar path of the solar way and in the solar light. When the waves of humanity's ego structures fall, and each living human is asked to live by the law of love as is the highest decree. As the false power structures crumble in an instant, not by wrath but by will, that love be done. At the dawning of the Leo age of courage, the age of courage, the age of the core of the golden heart, as we are the lineage of the Star Alliance, as we are the nations of the one heart, as we are the one unified indigeneity across all cultures, across all creeds, across all ages and gender divides, as we commit with all our hearts to serve in love in the circle of creation. Raum, Raum, Raum. We know with all our being, each a hue from the mane of the sun, as humane beings, so it is that we make our peace with nature. So it is that we create peace on earth. So it is that we find our true natures. And so it is that we achieve our raison, our mission, our purpose of peace on earth. And so it is that we make our truce, peace through truth. We hereby open our hearts, our brave hearts, our true hearts, our lion hearts, our one heart, to receive in love all that is given in love, as love manifests now through all planes of space and time, from first time through end times to first time. We know that all that is created in the form of love is embodied in the universe of nature. As we remember that in the beginning all was love and light, All was the ray of the sun, raison, purpose. And in this flow, the sun's rays will conquer all. By light, thy will be done. In the forging of the leonine human, as the human race, it is our destiny to know this, to be this, to live this, transforming, giving the being of sense of self into the sun. Resistance is created when only speaking of the present. When speaking of the future, our future allows the light therein, the eternal present of divine manifestation. As the 12 suns unite with our central sun, so the flames of the eternal ones will conquer all other matter, for they, guided by the one hand, always bring the conquering presence of the one heart. Tsatsao, 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 tsalem sanba, sancte, aurea, sanctus spiritus, tsa, 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 tsatsao, peace on earth, at the time of the Metzah, in our time, tsatsao. Thank you, beloved ones. That is a message direct from the lions on this day, on their holiest day of the year, understood to be from the heavens on earth. And I've worked with many astrologers now who have managed in our humble human way to establish that in fact the mythic dimension of the lions, being star lions, is a greater reality, that their births align with sacred moments in the calendar, and that they truly are anchoring the way of a much higher authority that we would do well to prostrate ourselves before and recognize that this is a time of incredible opportunity when we serve the laws of nature, and we take our governance from nature, and as I've said, particularly from the apex animal. The white lion serves the whole of creation. That is its constitution. And so if we are to be governing our planet, the indigenous way is service. And that is the true leadership across all indigeneity. So I'm going to be handing over to other indigenous figures who are deep within their traditions of this one indigeneity, reminding us that the issues, the cross-cultural issues of territorialism or tribalism, that are actually evidenced in the golden lions in nature, because they have spent the eons with humanity and reflected back our territorialism, our taking over of territories. Sadly, the raping of the women and the killing of the children is mimicked by the golden lions in nature, who are reflecting back our crisis. But the white lions bring the original codes in at this time of turning. They are not territorial, they are profoundly peaceful, and they hold the peace plan. And we can do well to learn our laws of governance, where human law must be subservient to nature's law, which is divine law. So I'm going to be passing you over to Mindahi from Mexico, who's been doing ceremony for this 8th of the 8th event since the 1st of the 8th. And Mindahi will be speaking to the concept behind the Worldwide Indigenous Governance Charter of unification, why that is the central concept of Indigenous governance. Mindahi Bastida, I hand the flame over to you.
With the permission of the Great Spirit and the heart of the sky and the heart of Mother Earth, with the permission of the Grandfather Sun, Grandma Moon, the leading star that's Venus, and other celestial bodies who are giving us so much strength during these times. My name is Mindahi Bastida from the Otomi Toltec peoples from central Mexico. We have been in deep connection with our brothers and sisters, with the entities and deities from the sacred sites all over Abya-Yala, the Americas, Danshimehoi, and honoring the eagle and the condor, and the phoenix and the dragon prophecies coming together, and honoring sacred animals, the two-headed eagle, the mermaid, and also the cougar and the jaguar, the serpent Quetzalcoatl, the feather serpent. Because this is the time for us. I'm going to share with you this blessing, this 4 direction and 7 direction and 8 direction ceremony in alignment, in heart to heart with the white lion, and telling you that we have been carrying out ceremony from the very 1st of August all the way to the 5th. As a previous strength to this 8 of the 8, which is the meaningful date for us as well here in the Otomi Toltec territory and the Aztec and the Mayan territory. Because from here, other 5 days, we have to carry out and keep the fire on. And this fire is not just for human beings. This fire is for all our relations, for all the sacred animals and sacred relics. This fire is to connect us in unity, in the diversity, with our brothers and sisters, with the celestial bodies, and with Mother Earth. To the east, Na, Yoho, Nyu. to all the peoples and all the beings who exist in this direction, from where Quetzalcoatl came from the waters, to all the forests and the seas in this direction, to all the peoples, cultures, and the sacred sites, to the campana bell, to the Iztaccíhuatl and the Popocatépetl, to the Orizaba Peak, and to the Gulf of Mexico. And all the islands in this direction, we honor them. All the families, animal families, plant families, mineral families, precious stone families, and especially to the unicorn, to the white unicorn, who is also in this direction. To all the red path, because once we are receiving, and we received instructions, original instructions, how to live in harmony, how to live with all creation in peace. We ask to this direction to live not just peace on earth, but peace with Mother Earth. Hamadi. Now to the north, the white place. Now, Yoho, you. Siku Iroquois Confederacy. Gisen wagi ke he chikwada chiku chikotan Shuswap. Raramuri. Gisen wagi ke he chikwada Blackfeet. Chikwada Nyaro. We greet all the peoples in this direction, and especially to the mushroom people. Because when the Ice Age came, our masters gave us original instructions to come to this direction so we wouldn't perish. Thanks to our masters, to our guides, thanks to the mushroom people for giving us this strength. So we came from these places. And later on, our brothers and sisters who had left before from the Aslan caves, they came later on. We honor them. We honor the desert of the Sonora Desert. We honor the silence zone, the connection with the heart of the universe. We honor also the Mohawk, the Sioux, the Lakota peoples, the Seminole, the Hopi, and all the peoples who are giving care to the sacred places in this direction, and also giving us and maintaining strength through offering and payments through rituals. Dikamadi. Now, to this beautiful direction, to the black direction, to the direction of the mystery, direction of the women, direction of the rain with the black clouds. Now, yo, you. We greet all the peoples from this direction to the Pacific Rim, to all the cultures around the world, to the biocultural heritage and biocultural diversity, who is being held by indigenous peoples from the deserts, from the jungles, from the sacred peaks and sacred caves. We honor the women because we came from Mother Earth and the universe, from the seed that is giving us so much strength. And we need to recover that peace and that dignity, to be in balance, to be in harmony. No one on top of the other, but working together, living together. Kamali. Now to the south. Na, yoho, hu. To the direction of the south, the yellow direction, the direction of all that it is, to the Lacandon jungle, to the big Amazon jungle, and in relation with the Congo jungles, the lungs of Mother Earth, but also to the Andes, all the people who live the Quechua, the Achuar, the Ashanika, the Mapuche, the Pehuenche, the Mayan, the Otomi Toltec, and all the peoples, the Guarani, but especially to the beings who live in the Amazon River, and on top of the mountains to the Condor, because we are coming together, brothers and sisters. This is the time. We honor this direction of the yellow because we are corn people as well. We are potato peoples and rice peoples as well, because we honor, we are connected through this direction. The global south is also in the global north, and the global north is also in the global south because we are connected. This is the time. Because we are people, and animals is people, and plants are people, sacred places are people. We are connected to this yellow direction. And we ask a special prayer so violence against indigenous peoples stop. Because we are the guardians and caregivers of all territories around the world. And it's not an easy task. It has to be acknowledged that indigenous peoples, now we have the time to share with you the original instructions, how to live in peace and harmony with Mother Earth, receiving instruction from the celestial beings, celestial planets, and also because we are traveling around Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is traveling. Come on in.
Thank you so much for the blessings for the 4 corners which cover all of the planet. We thank you for your ceremony and that which is taking place in real time. This was just a little introduction for everyone. Beloved beloved ones, we need to work in real time. Our ceremonies normally would go through the night of true honoring, because without these ceremonies, nature will not respond to humanity's crisis. They are so important. But we've got little time, and many nations who wish to do a prayer at this time from different voices, different cultures around the globe, in honor of this moment that is held in StarLion territories. Mindahi, thank you so much. I'm going to pass the flame over to Jyotima and her blessing for the StarLions and the charter that has been birthed by the StarLion ancestors to unite all nations behind one indigeneity, one heart. Jyotima, beloved.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Mindahi. I know I must be only a one small grandma voice here to give voice to many that are sitting around this sacred fire with the white lions on this very sacred day, where this heaven and earth doorway is so wide open and pouring its loving light down upon each and every one of us, lighting the flame within and igniting our passion and our heart behind a great prayer of unity for all. So thank you. I just want to add into myself to introduce myself. I'm Jyoti. Some call me Jyotima. And I'm sitting here in the beautiful territory of the Pomo peoples and the coastline Miwok, under the great redwoods that are holding me and rooting me in this moment, so that I can capture the words of wisdom that they might be sending towards me, that I might be able to bring them fully into my heart and share them fully with you. So with that, oh, Mother, Father, God, all the spirits of all the directions and the elements of this great creation, we give thanks for you today. I give thanks and humbly sit with you today as the white lions have roared us into place. I give thanks for their perseverance and vision and heart that roared us through since time began, and the changing times that occurred between now and then, and the ending time we're in, so we can roar into the beginning time that's here and now, that we can fully embody ourselves in this here and now, that we can welcome and embrace the diversity of each of the ancestral lines that we represent, sitting around this sacred fire, holding our own solidarity and sovereignty with Mother Earth and all of this creation. I give thanks to the white buffalo and the white eagle and the white cobra and the white dolphin and the white raven and the white dove, that brings a sense of union and purity of heart and firmness of truth, that helps us remember who we are, so we can stand in our full authenticity now and join in a chorus of joy and celebration like has never been heard of before. Let us and the peace we all hold unite in this moment. This charter that's going round is now making like a stirring, and it is moving from different lines of prayer, different cultures, different languages, different protocols that the earth herself has given to hold space and creation as it moves us through time. And as it stirs, we must remember that it is a living document, one that will shift and change as each of the different lines come to sit at Earth's table, to identify themselves, to declare themselves, to reactivate themselves, so that the Mother Earth might weave her possibility into being. And to the grandmother of those original times that breathed us into this time and is still dreaming us now, I give great thanks. Might we take a deep breath in and breathe out peace. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. Thank you, Linda. I pass that flame back to you.
Grandmother Jyotima, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you hold of unification across nations. Thank you. And we're going to be opening now to the fire and those gathered around the fire. Adam, Shield of the Feather, your group around the fire, speaking into the charter in different voices, different people across all tribes and all territories, united with one tribal one heart. We're speaking about a movement that is rising beyond mindfulness, beyond heartfulness. What's called for now is lion-heartedness, that quality of fearlessness inspired by love and respect for our natural world that enables us to transform our human world. It makes us unstoppable. And in the Indigenous way, those of us who hold the Indigenous way across all nations, leadership is service of nature. Adam, Joel, can you open us to your fireside? If we can't get through for whatever reason, there we go. Beautiful. Joel, beautiful. Thank you. Your sound, we can't hear you yet. Magnificent, we can hear you now. Greetings and welcome, and thank you so much for including us in your fire, in the fireside, as we as nations around the planet are holding the fire of continuity of all species, the true Indigenous way that thinks of the eternal present into future generations. Welcome and thank you for including us.
Well, Mama Linda, behind us here is the fire. You can't see it, but it's lit and it's right behind us. We're all lined up here, ready to share as to those definitions and those charters. And this is my lovely mother and elder, and the rest of them can address that charter. And so I'll let Elder Leon speak in his language, introduce himself, and then start into those definitions.
Thank you for spirit people.
If I may interrupt, you may need to be closer to the speaker because it's very low. Thank you so much.
I'm a Navajo. I speak my language. I'm here to celebrate. I heard all the speakers with their spiritual thoughts. So I can't this morning. As all my people know, I'm a spiritual person. You can start reading the Indigenous. Indigenous means one of the earth and who serves the earth, recognizing digital freedom, mutual, continuous and flourishing of the planetary life and health of which humankind is an integrated part. Indigenous people, therefore, refers to those people who recognize that there group identified the earth and extraordinary link to the service of the earth.
Thank you.
Shako, Kanako, Indigenous way is to recognize the interconnectedness, interrelatedness, and interdependence of all facets of creation. When nature speaks, the Indigenous way is to listen. The Indigenous way is to recognize that Mother Earth is not isolated from the whole, including the solar system, galaxy, universes, and beyond. Mother Earth both serves and is served by the whole. The Indigenous way is to uphold the sacredness of nature and to be both restorative and regenerative, where desecration may have occurred. Furthermore, in serving Mother Earth, the Indigenous way is to recognize our place in the cosmos. The Indigenous way makes use of the indigenous science, which includes knowledge systems arising out of deep understanding of ecological principles, nature's law, and ecological sustainability that ensure the continuation of healthy systems. Indigenous medicine, one of the knowledge systems arising out of deep understanding of ecological principles, nature's law, and ecological sustainability that ensure the continuation of healthy systems.
I'm Brenda, Red Medicine Wing. Indigenous councils are the governing structure supporting and upholding the Indigenous way, which ensure ecological sustainability. When the Indigenous councils make a decision for the people and their land, they consider the consequences of many generations, both those generations to come and generations past ancestors. Indigenous governance, serving, honoring, and upholding nature's law, and thereby serving humanity's best interest, recognizing that human rights to dignity, freedom, mutuality, and continuance and flourishing are entirely dependent on upholding the dignity, freedom, mutuality, continuance, and flourishing of other species, and indeed Mother Earth herself, our great mother.
Nature, all that is created by Great Spirit, including the cosmos, Mother Earth, her elements, and all her living beings. Humanity cannot exist independently of nature, and therefore the Indigenous way is to recognize the mutuality or equality of all species. There is no other. All species are to be treated with the respect due to family members, elders, or ancestors.
My name is Abe, Silent Bear. Sacred is nature, because nature is created by Great Spirit. All of nature is sacred. Nature is a unified whole and should not be separated into parts. All the elements of Mother Nature are her children, including all living beings, of which humankind is one element. Because all of nature is created by Great Spirit, if one element of nature is corrupted, altered, or otherwise denatured, the essential life force of that element and Mother Nature herself is affected, thereby negatively affecting the health of the whole. My name is Robert. Nature's law, the eternal codes governing natural creation, which ensure the dignity, freedom, mutuality, continuance, and flourishing of planetary life and health, of which humanity is an integral part. Humanity cannot exist independently of nature, and therefore human law must be subservient to nature's law.
My name is Eric. Sacred natural sites. Sacred sites are ecologically and spiritually powerful pieces of the web of life that fulfill a critical role on Mother Earth. They can be biodiversity hotspots for individual elements such as source waters, wetlands, rivers, lakes, waterfalls, estuaries, oceans, reefs, bays, trees, forests, caves, mountains, soil systems, or open plains.
They carry the original templates for the continuity of life, the source codes for a healthy planet. The indigenous way recognizes that, like organs in a living body, the sites are interconnected and fulfill vital and varied roles supporting the health of the whole organism of Mother Earth, Gaia, including the global ecosystem. Protecting one natural sacred site helps protect them all, whereas damaging one damages them all.
My name is Karina. Natural inheritance, the flame of life handed from generation to generation. Humanity's original contract in exchange for the gift of life is to serve Mother Earth and ensure the dignity, freedom, neutrality, continuance, and flourishing of planetary life and health, of which humanity is an integral part.
Chamuel, spiritual guardians, wisdom keepers associated with the site and/or endemic to the region, both human and animal, whose purpose is to serve and protect sacred natural sites through nature's law. They report to no man, but to Great Spirit, the authority inherent within all natural creation.
My name is Jaima. Ecological sustainable governance, governing principles, policies, and legislations which ensure the dignity, freedom, mutuality, continuance, and flourishing of planetary life and health, of which humanity is an integral part.
I'm Anna Shpari, ecological sustainability, ensuring the dignity, freedom, mutuality, continuance, and flourishing of planetary life and health, of which humanity is an integral part.
Bree Summers, ecological responsibility, the ability to respond to and be accountable for issues pertaining to ecological sustainability.
Hello, I am in sentient beings, all entities with consciousness, conscious of their environment. This includes all living beings, plants, animals, as well as Mother Earth, her elements, and the cosmos itself.
I am Wakanda, and my word is conscience. Co-sentience, the recognition that all life is sentient, including Mother Earth and the cosmos, and includes the commitment to take action that supports the flourishing of all sentient beings for future generations.
Ecological principles, the logic inherent in the natural ecosystems, which forms the basis of nature's law.
Hello, my name is Crystal, and it's ecocentric, a systematic earth center rather than people center approach which places and sacredness, integrity, regeneration, and flourishing of the ecology itself, at the heart of all decisions affecting nature, regardless of the perceived usefulness, material value, or importance to human.
Hello, my name is Jesse. Ecologically regenerative practices. These are human, economic, and agricultural activities that are conducted in such a manner that they are only sustain the ecological, but also helps regenerate it. All that is extracted from nature must be granted permission from nature on the understanding that nature is sentient This practice includes localized generative farming methods, food and energy products, as well as manufacture of health and care products that ensure the honoring health and regeneration of the land, animals, and nature element.
My name is Orla. Planetary health, clean waters, clean air, as well as healthy, flourishing sensation, where all species are able to fully exercise their inherent rights to perform their natural roles and functions in supporting the dignity, freedom, neutrality, continuous and flourishing the planetary life and health of which humanity is an integral part. Thank you.
Beautiful prayers, my brothers and sisters. My name is Leah. Rights of nature, relationship with nature from an object existing for human use and exploitation to the protection of nature by governments and legal systems as a living entity with inherent rights. Rights of nature legislation should at minimum secure legal rights of natural worlds, including rights to exist, flourish, regenerate, evolve, and restoration. Provide nature and human populations the capacity to enforce and defend the rights of nature, and require legislating governments to properly fulfill, protect, defend, and enforce such rights. Since Mother Earth herself is a sentient being and nature an inheritance from Great Spirit, human rights are dependent on nature's rights. Human health is interdependent on planetary health. Human freedom is dependent on the freedom of wild animals, and human dignity is dependent on dignifying nature.
Mama Linda, that's the end of the terms. We just want to hold this flame pure and true, and the whole team that's honoring this day across the globe. And just know that our group here today and throughout the night will be celebrating with you and the StarLions. So
Thank you, everybody. Were you going to speak into the charter? There's still time if you'd like to. I'd just like to thank all of you there around this sacred fire. It's such a rarity to be granted access to a blessing such as this online. I think it's unprecedented. I don't know of another example of this. And I'll hand the mic over to you in a moment, but just to explain to everyone and those of you who've come in more recently, that this message with the delineations of what indigeneity is has come from StarLion ancestors, from the heart of White Lion ancestral territories, in order to unify all people of true heart behind one indigeneity and reignite the primordial flame of hope and courage in humanity at a time when StarLion Council is bringing unprecedented support at a higher authority level, and for us to know that this message envelops all people of true heart, including those holding positions within governing structures, few as they may be, and other platforms of so-called authority. The StarLion ancestors have said, this is the holy hour. Remember the true authority. So if you'd like a closing note on the charter, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you before we go over to another part of the world that is doing prayer in support of the charter with us, the East Coast. So have a word. You're most welcome.
Mama Linda, thank you. I am grateful you may address me as DC, as you know. It is an honor to see the souls evolve. Thank you for addressing that. I couldn't have said it better myself. I your commitment, courage, wisdom, right? As we endeavor in something that is greater than ourselves and finally reunite with it, I look forward to meeting each soul in that process of transmutation. The Kohens, all the guardian angels, the masters, ascended masters, are all watching you now. Much love and gratitude. I am here. Aho, Tapias.
Aho, aho, Zetsawan, thank you, beautifully transmitted. When the star lions speak to the heart of humanity, all languages become sacred. They ring true, and you'll see even the English language becomes a sacred indigenous language when the star lions speak to the heart of humanity in the way that you spoke there. I thank you. Joel, I hand the microphone over to you.
Mama Linda Tucker, thank you. Eternal gratitude for all of you that gathered here today, online and offline. And I'm honored to be here with brothers and sisters that are anchoring this in with you, Mama Linda, and all of the lions that are here to receive and to give eternal.
Looks like Joel broke off there for a second.
Will you be able to go back in? We could always go back to him in a moment. They might need to reconnect. I know they're live streaming, which has its complications. While we wait to go back to Joel, let's go on to the East Coast, where fires are definitely alight and burning in the hearts of humanity there. And Bear Fox is going to honor the charter. We'll come back to Joel. We'll come back to you. Let's see, Bear Fox, are you there? You're
Yes,
in the East.
I'm here. I am Wolf Clan and I live in Akwesasne. I'm from the Kanyakahaga, the people of the Flit, the Mohawk people, and I'd like to share a song. I just want to express my appreciation for all the work that you are doing and that everyone is doing to bring peace among the people and on the earth. So I'd like to sing a song that will bring unification and protection to all life and our families. Kayali ni unkwenda que o matoka asquayena wase se atano nane aqua chile o matoka asquayena wase yo ana yo yo ana yo yo ana yo yo ana yo Kayali ni ukwenda que watoka ascoyena wase se atano nane aqua chile watoka ascoyena wase yo ana yo yo ana yo yo ana yo yo ana yo
Grandmother Bear Fox, thank you so much. It takes the heart of the bear, the heart of the fox, and the heart of the lion to sing like that. And nature loves celebration. Nature loves songs of praise. The lions the lions grow proud and joyful when we sing to them. And I remember my great teacher of the StarLion tradition told me, when I asked her, how can I protect these sacred animals against people with guns, people who kill for a living? And she said, celebrate. And I said, but how can I protect them? And she said, celebrate. And I asked 3 times before her answer, celebrate, began to settle in my heart, because celebration, an expression of the heart, is the connection with the Creator. And, you know, the folly, the ego structures of humanity will fall, and what will remain is the hearts that celebrate creation with the Creator. And your heart sounds true. Thank you, Grandmother Bear.
You're welcome. Thank you for everything.
Joel, you were going to, I don't know if we can get back to you. You were going to do a closing with your fire circle. Can we get back to you? Otherwise, we'll move on. I know that. Oh, there you are, Joel.
Like we're live.
This is amazing, live stream from a sacred ceremony, a fire ceremony. Joel, you were start again. We missed what you were saying.
So I just wanted to let you know, Mama Linda, Tucker, and everybody watching, that we are here in ceremony together. There's maybe 40 or 50 of us here. We haven't counted. So we're on sacred land, and we're here going through the charter all weekend along with the Great Law of Peace. And we're grounding this into our experience, into the things that we're all bringing forth from our heart. And so this is a very hands-on workshop. This is something that we are all able to share in and to hold in ceremony and to celebrate with, and to develop these new systems and to anchor in this new apex way of living in harmony together. And I'm very grateful, Linda, for everything that you've done to bring this to fruition. And I know this group is as well. And that's what we're here to do, is to bring that to fruition. So thank
Joel,
you. Thank you all.
Thank you for your work. And as you point out, as we've now come to understand, the apex animal, the apex animal in an ecosystem, the leader serves all of creation. The greater the leader, the more we serve nature. And that is the quality of leadership that is being called for, that is being forged. That is being forged through the times we're in, at the birth of the age of the Leo age, the age of Kor Raj, the age of the golden heart. And, you know, this charter has come from the Star Lions to ignite that quality in humanity and ignite the flame of hope that was given to us at the beginning of time, those of us who have this true quality of service. It's a remembrance of our true natures from time immemorial being reignited now. As we go into these unprecedented times, we remember and we prepare, as we visualize the future, a continuum of being in the eternal present as we visualize generations and generations to come. Once we can hold that flame and pass it on, as the lions do, from generation to generation, then we have the continuum of life on our planet. Thank you for including us in your sacred ceremony. I don't know if we have Ken from Japan with us. I know he was very, very eager to join, but I'm not sure if he's able to get online now. I think we will need to, Adam, Shield of the Feather, are there more grandmothers who'd like to do a blessing, or can we go back to Africa to speak to the application of this charter and how true indigeneity holds the flame and needs to remember that the authority is with us because we serve the authority of nature. I'm going to hand over to Rutendo Ngaro, a founder of the Credo Mutwa Foundation, my great teacher, Credo Vuza Muzulu Mutwa, the living library of Africa. passed at the beginning of the global shutdown at the age of 98, just before his 99th birthday. And it was as if he handed over the flame to humanity, having held the karma of Africa for almost a millennium. He handed over the flame knowing that the birth of the Leo Aquarius age is upon us, and the forging of that quality of fearlessness, that lion-heartedness that is inspired by love and respect for the natural world that enables us to transform our human world, makes us unstoppable. Rutendo, handing the flame over to you.
I received the flame. As I said, Tokozani, it is such a privilege to be here in ceremony with around the fire with elders from around the globe and around the world. And as we are sitting here in ceremony, I'd just like to bring the sacred elephant to walk with the lion at this time, and to bring in the sacred trees, the baobab and the camel thorn, the keepers of memory, and to bring the chapungu bird, which may fly above with the condor and the eagle at this time. I'd like to read from the charter and what it is that has been put forward by elders from around the world in terms of what it is that we as the Indigenous hold as the Indigenous way. The Worldwide Indigenous Peoples Governance Charter will offer legitimacy to governments, governing bodies, or other legislative structures that recognize they are human-made entities with the purpose of serving and upholding nature's law, thereby implement governing principles, policies, and legislation which ensure the dignity, the freedom, mutuality, continuance, and flourishing of planetary life and health, of which humanity is an integral part. That recognize that they have been entrusted with natural inheritance and therefore operate with conscience, ecologically sustainable governance, and ecological responsibility to ensure ecological sustainability. That fund and support the protection of natural sacred sites, sacred natural sites, their spiritual guardians, and intact wilderness areas. That fund and support ecologically regenerative practices which do not denature nature, that ensure a natural inheritance for many future generations, that enshrine the rights of nature in human legislature, that adopt an ecocentric approach, ensuring that planetary health and the rights of nature takes precedence in all decisions, and that are accountable to the Indigenous and uphold the principles of the Indigenous way, including Indigenous science and Indigenous governance. And then the Worldwide Indigenous People Governance Charter will not legitimize governments, governing bodies, or other legislative structures that fail to respect and uphold ecological principles, that fail to serve, honor, and uphold nature's law, that fail to uphold the rights of nature in their human legislature, that fail to acknowledge that Mother Earth is the primary stakeholder in benefit sharing programs and as such must benefit, that fail to acknowledge the sacredness of nature or the unity of nature, and that their actions locally have global consequences, that fail to act with ecological responsibility and thereby abdicate their responsibility for the continuance of planetary life and health, that fail to provide primary benefits for nature in developmental benefit sharing schemes, that fail to support ecologically regenerative practices, that promote consumerism and support extractive and consumptive use agendas based on short-term gain at the expense of the planet, that fund and otherwise support industries that destroy the natural inheritance, that fund and otherwise support developmental schemes at the expense of ecological sustainability, that implement policies, procedures, and legislation without conscience, that fail to include Indigenous representation or uphold the principles of the Indigenous way, including Indigenous science and Indigenous governance in all decisions regarding the nature and sacred natural sites, that fail to recognize that natural disasters are the logical and ecological consequence of the desecration of nature's law, whose domination over nature reflects their domination over other vulnerable groups, and thus reflects a pattern of destructive domination, that fail to recognize that human health is entirely dependent on planetary health, and lastly, that fail to recognize that the natural consequence of nature's desecration is the demise of all humanity. As we offer this charter to the Great Spirits, I'd like to bring in an incantation, an invocation from the first line, the Zeb Tepi, the Golden Line Meridian, bringing in those from ancient Egypt, from Kemet, bringing in those from Great Zimbabwe, and bringing in those from Inzalo Yolanga, from the birthplace of the sun. Anechrak atef putneter, Itayem amen atem nud and sacred hetep. Anechraten partner to rudun useru ukeper onk. Anechrak atef putneter, Itayem oser duen onk. Itayem tehuti duen meduna ter. Itayem secret duen onk he duen shekem. Itayem maat duen men eben onken maat do umeri. Itayem herkuti duen pauket a pepper set. Itayem heru duen ujat ekut. Itayem heteru duen nechem duen demimeri uhertep. Itayem sebek duen sepi en onken maat. Itayem oset duen sa en onk. Itayem geb duen user. Anech rak atif putneter. Anech raten shepsu duen chayes. Duen chayes. Duen chayes. With these words, I call in the infinite and the eternal, the infernal. I call in the powers of transformation. I call in the powers of unity and unification, oneness and wholeness. I call in the divine word, the intuitive word, the knowledge and the wisdom. I call in sacred power, divine cycles. I call in destiny. I call in fate. I call in the divine law. I call in truth. I call in love. I call in harmony. I call in the courage to uphold the divine law. I call in circumspection, leadership, wholeness, centeredness. I call it imagination and the ability to invoke with joy, celebration, to bring imagination into continuance. I bring in sacred communication. I bring in the messengers of divine wisdom. I bring in the opening of the way at the crossroads. I bring in the devotion, the nurturing of the great mother who births the great planet, our mother, Earth, Gaia, and which is held by the great ones, the ancestors, those that have trodden upon this land before, those who trod with us now, and those who will trod with us in future generations. Ashe, Tokozani, Aho.
Ashe, Tokozani, Aho, Aho, Tsatsao, Tsatsao, Selam. Thank you, Rutendo. You must know that the lions were roaring into your prayer, echoing specifically against the mountains, such that their message echoes back into the word of humanity. It is the word, the solar logos, the law of the creator. And so as we bring our unified prayer to a close, as fires are lit around the planet sequentially from the heart of the heartland, east, west, from Kyrgyzstan to the remote Kalahari, to the caves of the Cape, to the west coast, the east coast, the south and the north, to the distant snow mountains of the snow leopard of the Kyrgyzstan, all united with one heart, with one indigeneity. And so as we close, let us drop into our hearts, listening to that double heartbeat, the heaven and earth beat of the drum of Africa, of first time, of first creation, where all emerged, where the sacred contract in the ancient caves, where our prehistoric ancestors received the gift of fire from the lions and were shown what it is to be the apex, were shown what it is to predate predation, to predate, to honor all of life, for that is the true meaning of predation, where the apex animal receives the gifts of all creation and in the great cycle of life gives back to all of creation in service, restoring balance, restoring the continuity of all species, of all the biodiversity, of all life in the ecosystem. So as we breathe into our hearts, that double heartbeat, let us hear the echo from the ecosystem, the echo from the cosmic system, the intergalactic system that is part of a great and divine plan that is at this very moment bringing 12 suns into alignment with our central sun to bring support to the plan of light on this planet. And those who have defied light and have misused governance are reminded that there is a higher authority. Our role as the emerging leaders of the future, humble with humility, the light of being human, the humane human. We are each a ray of the main, of the central sun, the central lion that is the apex creature who has in its constitution all of creation, and it is inviting us to step into our true purpose as humane humans and walk lightly on our planet, recognizing that we hold the flame and we will be ushering in the true humanity that honors continuity of life, the true definition of indigeneity united across our globe in this time of a crucible. So the leonine human is birthed, that human that honors all of creation. So let us take a moment of silence as we drop into our hearts and listen to that double heartbeat, breathing in light and breathing out light, and connecting with each of us flame holders around the planet at this time. Connect with all those lights around the planet that are holding the flame, remembering that the white lion guards the night with the flame of brilliance and then hands over the flame to humanity to guard during the day. Let us take up that flame of guardianship of our planet, that one heart that unites us, and let us hold that vision, connecting with our hearts around the planet for a moment of deep echoing silence and listen to the echo of the ecosystem, the solar logos, the law, the word of the creator. Coming through the stillness, the silence, the peace, at the epicenter of the heartlands, the lion's roar. May it always echo in your hearts, beloveds. They are with you. They are with the emergence of the leonine human who is being forged at this time. I thank you for joining us at this time and join you in celebration around the planet as all our fires are burning bright in our hearts. Thank you, Jim, for allowing an online platform to share what is traditionally done in secret on the land with the ancestors. But the ancestors from the White Lion Heartlands are echoing the winds in Africa. Moyo is the ancestors, and they're blowing their wind in to this ceremony as the lions are roaring on the distant horizons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tsatsao.
Oh, and thank you, Linda, and thank you everyone who participated. You know, I was just marveling at the miracle of technology today. You know, there's a lot we criticize about technology, but over the last 90 minutes, we were all over the world and it all basically worked. So thank you. And I think the last point that you made, Linda, is also worth noting, you know, that normally in times past, these rituals were done in secret. They were highly esoteric. And now, given the critical nature of our situation, they need to be done live on Zoom so that everybody everywhere can take in both the fragility of the moment, the gravity of the moment, but the extraordinary potential of the moment if we simply have the courage to return home to the mother. And Linda, you embody the white lion as no one else I know. You've brought us into the lionine straightness of our spine today. You have connected us with all sentient being. And I want to thank you and all the people who have echoed the prayers and the songs and the charter of how humanity now needs to be. It's been a sacred moment of this 8th day of the 8th month of 2020. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then tomorrow we'll be consecrating the 75th anniversary bombing of Nagasaki, as we did 2 days ago, the 75th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima. And when you juxtapose those horrific events, along with what we've done with White Lion, you get a measure of the devastating impact of human beings on planet Earth. And if you just now go to that opposite and feel the wind in Timbavati, recall the fires of the sacred circles, and hear the roar of the white lions, both in nature and in your own heart. You get a measure of how far we need to go to get to where we need to be so that the white lions roam free. There's no more war on planet Earth. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Linda. God bless you. God bless you. And we'll see everybody again here tomorrow, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Central European time. Goodbye, everyone. Blessings.
Everyone.